Want to talk right now as we are approaching the 4th of July weekend, though. We want to talk about travel and maybe some last minute travel deals. Of course, with the holiday coming up on a Friday this year, many of us are planning an extended holiday, a getaway. What is it going to cost? Where are people going to go? And again, where can we go last minute? Katie Nastro, travel expert at Going, which is the travel flight deal discovery app, joining us now. Hi, Katie. How are you?
Hi, Jane. Great to be here. Thanks so much for having me.
Katie, what are you seeing in terms of overall cost compared to previous years?
Yeah, this is what we have coined the golden summer of cheap flights. It really is a unique market in that people are still finding last minute deals, even the week of July 4th, as well as for the rest of the summer. So think end of July, well into August for places across Europe, as well as places across the US. Like, for example, you can head to Chicago for 266 round trip the week of July 4th. So this week, as well as New York, 173 round trip, so keeping that even under the budget, as well as places in Europe for the end of the summer. 434 to Amsterdam available on the Going app that you can take fly direct, or no, sorry, there's one stop there, but yeah, is available at the end of July in well into August from the Charlotte area. So there are deals to be had if you haven't booked anything yet.
Wow, I mean, less than $500 to Europe. That sounds amazing. What's driving these savings?
Yeah, well, there's a combination of factors. One, airfare's been on a cheapening streak in the last 4 months, and we're expecting it to continue to be on that trend. Gas prices, or the price of oil, is lower than previous years, so that's having a slight impact, as well as we are seeing a bit of hesitation in terms of people booking these really big ticket item trips, thinking that, well, we don't really know what's going on with the economy so far out. Maybe I'll scale back or wait until I feel a little bit more comfortable to book a trip. So there's hesitation there, as well as we're seeing a decrease in international arrivals. So, from specific places across Europe, that means that there are empty seats, both ways going across the Atlantic. So that also plays into why we're seeing, especially to Europe, these really sort of shoulder season prices during a peak season.
And you mentioned Chicago. That's going to be a pretty good deal. What are some of the other U.S. top destinations that people can get to last minute?
Yeah, so look, at this close in range of time, we would definitely suggest to keep your eyes out on popular hotspots like Las Vegas or Orlando. You could get to Orlando from Charlotte for, I believe, around $80 round trip. Now, that's on a budget carrier, so you just have to be aware, if you're looking for a very last minute, very low profile trip where you're only bringing sort of a carry-on or something that fits underneath your seat, then you definitely can get away for less. As well as, be flexible with your dates. We're seeing, based off of going search data, if you can leave on the 4th versus leaving on that Thursday or Wednesday, you can actually save upwards of 20%. And if you can avoid traveling on that Sunday, you're not only going to be looking at a cheaper fare overall, but also Sunday after the July 4th holiday is going to be the busiest day according to that week and according to AAA predictions. And it typically has been in recent years. So if you can, our biggest tip would be avoid that Sunday if you can.
Yeah, Sundays are always going to be so tough coming back from a long weekend. As far as international trips, then, not too many people are booking them. What's behind this gap?
Yeah, so it's really more so there's a hesitation from the American side in terms of, do I want to spend money on a bigger ticket trip like going to Europe, as well as, the US dollar has depreciated in the last few months. So it is a little bit more expensive versus years past to travel around Europe, as well as the UK. The pound sterling to the dollar is pretty healthy in terms of the exchange rate. So, that definitely can eat into your travel budget, even if the flight is expensive, or excuse me, even if the flight is on the cheaper side. So people are a little bit cautious there, as well as, there has been a decrease in international arrivals. And this has been since about March, especially from specific places, Germany, the UK, France. We're seeing specific areas just opt to go elsewhere. Specifically, Canadian tourism is way down going to the US. They're opting for other destinations. And so that's also playing into the market. So if you're looking for, from the American side, going to Canada, it is more affordable in years past, not only to get there, but also on the ground because of the difference in currencies. So, again, while it is making this market a unique one, we don't want people waiting until the last minute to take advantage of the deals that are available now, because we still are seeing the closer you get, especially the week of July 4th, the closer and closer you get to the day that you're looking to fly, you're still seeing airfare tend to go in the upwards direction. So our biggest advice, take advantage of those deals, go to the Going app, look around the globe. And it's not just Europe that's on sale. We actually saw an insanely cheap deal from the West Coast down to Sydney, Australia for $591 round trip. That's almost 70% off. And we always say, if you can stitch together a flight getting to that, West Coast airport, it was from Seattle, you can use your points, use your miles to get to that airport and then down, you're still saving overall. So we always talk about a repositioning flight. And from Charlotte, it's really easy to do so.
All right, so do you think airports are going to be less busy this summer? What should travelers prepare for?
Yeah, that's a great question. And look, it is a peak time period. July 4th is the busiest holiday outside of Thanksgiving and the winter holidays. So it's going to be busy. But because July 4th falls on a Friday this year, it's looking like we're going to see a steady stream across the week of people looking to take advantage of that sort of built-in 3-day weekend. So airports are going to be busy, roads are going to be busy, but I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't see sort of not as busy of airports across just one day. And if we didn't see a record-breaking day, I wouldn't be surprised. And that's only due to the fact that we've actually seen the amount of people going through TSA sort of on a downward trajectory. We've actually seen 2 out of the last 5 months have less people getting on an airplane than they did in last year. So it's sort of, we're moderating in terms of how many people are traveling. Coming out of the pandemic, everybody was looking to book a flight. This year, this summer is going to be a little bit different, maybe a little bit less, and maybe not as many trips.
All right, very good. Katie Nastro from Going. Thank you for the insights and the tips. For more information, go to that Going app. Very useful. That's a good app. I like it.